Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Continental Tire, proud to be the exclusive tire of the Dan Patrick Show. No matter where you drive or what you drive, Continental designs tires for what you do. For more info, visit ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire for what you do. Coach Roy Williams, how late was the celebration, Coach?
How late was the celebration? Is that what you said, Dan?
Yeah.
I guess it's still going on. I tried to go to bed for a couple of hours, and it didn't work. It's still 7 a.m. out here in Phoenix. We're leaving in about 3 hours, but I'm getting too old for the big celebrations. We basically came up about 3 a.m. and watched Sports Center so we could see it.
What did you see when you were watching the highlights?
Some big plays, and it was kind of thing where usually I can remember almost every play in the sequence, but last night the whole game was so disjointed and so uneven, or you can simply say so ugly. I got up to the room and I'm thinking, wait a minute, did this happen before that happened? Or did that happen before this? So it was good for me to see it because the emotions at the end of the game, I was having a difficult time putting together in what order things were going, but it was a fantastic feeling to sit there and know when Joel Berry shot that ball, it was going in, or when they were going to take a shot, what the outcome was going to be.
Did you have to have your team adjust to the refereeing last night?
I've been asked that a lot because evidently it was talked about a lot, but we knew in ourselves that it could get to be a up and down game like the first game we played Kentucky 103-100, but we also knew it could be, I'll even use your terminology, a slugfest.
Yeah.
So I really never got that totally involved with the officiating. I was just trying to coach our team. I got mad once or twice for sure, especially when, they said the ball was out of bounds on us and the kid didn't hit the ball and they gave them another possession. It was a 3-point shot. But, both teams' defenses were a lot stronger than their offenses was. Ours, they just made us take bad shots, and our defense forced 14 turnovers. But it was an ugly game. But the whistles, it's part of the game. I try to get my guys to not focus on that because kids just always think that they got to have somebody else to bail them out. And
Yeah.
I tell them, go ahead and make the daggum play and then don't worry about the referees.
Do you work the officials differently in a national title game?
I don't, but I try. I think that's really overplayed. Most of the time I tell them I'd like to coach the game and never speak to them throughout the course of the game, but it doesn't quite happen very often.
Does this reinvigorate you? Does it make you want to coach longer?
I enjoyed last year, except for the last couple of seconds. I enjoyed what that club did. This, gives you the emotion and the sensational feeling that you have for your kids and that they're going to be in North Carolina basketball history forever. But I don't think I'll ever let that make a decision on how long I coach. As long as I enjoy it as much as I do and enjoy the kids. And, we got some Looney Tunes on our team. We have a lot of fun.
Does impending sanctions or whatever happens with the NCAA investigation impact what your coaching future will be?
No, I said this, and I do get so tired of talking about it, but I said this. I used to think I wanted to make sure that it was over with before I retired. Now I want to make sure that it's over with before I die. Who knows what's going to happen?
Are you planning on taking the team to the White House?
We haven't even talked about it, and I did. One writer asked me about it maybe before Saturday's game, I guess on Friday. And I told him, you don't know Roy Williams because I am not talking about anything I'm going to do. I am a little bit superstitious, big fella. And then last night he asked me the same thing. And I said, heck, in 2005, we never got invited. So who knows we're going to get invited kind of thing. But I really haven't thought of it. I have a great deal of respect for the office of the presidency of the United States. There's no question about that. But I haven't thought about it other than answering his question last night and yours right now.
What are you going to do with that sport code?
That's a good question. That sucker's been pretty good. I don't know if I want to retire it. I may want to keep it around, but its record is about as good as any code I've ever had.
But I would frame it, Coach. I mean, guys frame their jerseys. Frame a sport code.
Well, I've got one from the 2005 national championship team is in our museum in Chapel Hill. So I wouldn't just put it in a closet and leave it there. That's for sure.
Was Michael Jordan not there because he was superstitious? Did you hear this?
People asked me the last day and a half if he was going to come, and I said, he hasn't called me, but guys, knowing him, he's going to say, I went last year and you lost. And so that's what I was thinking. And our assistant AD, Clint Waltley, we were walking to the bus last night, and I said, I want to bet you $1. I said, I'll give you about any odds you want. I said, but I'll bet you there's a text message from Michael or a voicemail from Michael, and he's going to say something about coming last year. And sure enough, I got on the bus and got my phone out of my backpack, so I left it on the bus. I had quite a few messages, and one of them was Michael, so I collected some money last night.
Would you rather have good seniors or great freshmen?
Oh, man. You need to win it, you got to have one of the two. There's no question. And you can make the argument over the last 10 or 15 years, it's probably 50-50 of what kind of teams have won it. But I would say either one. I love coaching kids and getting that relationship that you can have for 4 years. But, Anthony Davis, his freshman year, or a couple of guys like I've had, Marvin Williams, Brandon Wright, I would take them anytime too, even though it's only a 1-year coaching deal. Marvin Williams was one of those text messages last night. Brandon Wright was one of those messages, and I love them dearly. So I'll take either one.
Just to let you know, you're the warm-up act for Jack Nicklaus in 10 minutes. So Jack.
Hey, I'm thrilled. I'm going to go play in a charity event that is sponsored by Mr. Nicklaus and his wife, and mid-June, I think.
Have you met him?
Close to Washington, D.C. I've met him once or twice just to say hello when his son Jackie was in school, and I think he would know who I am, but I'm not sure, and that's okay because I know who he is.
I think college basketball certainly knows who you are, Coach. Congratulations with your third title, and hopefully you get a little rest before you hit the recruiting trail.
Well, I'm going to hit the recruiting trail on Thursday because that's when I can go back out, but I'm looking forward to the golf course. 3 knee operations the last 2 summers, and I'm taking the summer off from knee surgery this summer so I can play some golf, Danny.
Thank you, Roy. Congrats.
Thank you very much, Dan.
That's Roy Williams. Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Continental Tire for what you do. A little bit tired there. Going to hit the recruiting trail. 3rd national title, one more than his idol, Dean Smith. Put you up there with, great coaches of all time. Number of times you've been to a Final Four, winning the 3 titles. He's there with Coach K, Tom Izzo, Rick Pitino, Bill Self.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.